What's going on, people? Welcome back to Liverpool TV. Back again. It's back to the old school, and I got two guys, both big Newcastle fans, and yeah, it's been a long time. And welcome back to Pete, and welcome back to Tony.
Hey, John.
Yes, John. Thank you for having us back on, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Fantastic stuff. Welcome back. Good to see you back, guys, back on as well after a long while, and yeah. So thanks for coming on. So, guys, you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, please. The super chat's open as well. If you like to click on the dollar sign and give our channel's worth, and if you like to become a member, it's just 99p, and there is the link. Just copy and paste how you want to do it. That's how you become a member, and it's just 99p. You don't have to pay $1.99 or $2.99, just 99p. Big up to Luca, Big Guna, big up to Kel. I hope you're well, and got your message as well earlier on. I hope your son gets back from Paris safe and well. And big up to Paul as well, latest member, and also as well, big Newcastle fan. We want to talk about Malcolm McDonald, John Tudor, or all those people as well back in the day. Then Paul is your guy. Right, let's go on to we're going to talk about Eddie Howe first of all, and the guy is under pressure. I mean, look, I want him to succeed. I don't want him sacked, but he is under pressure. And if he's not careful or doesn't change things up or doesn't be ruthless, then something needs to happen. And big up to Alan as well. Another Newcastle fans for a long, long time. Top guy as well. And he loves to wind up opposition as well, saying Steve Bruce should be their manager. And Mama Flossie, she is amazing. She mods other channels as well. Big up to Mama Flossie, big Newcastle fan as well. Also does Arsenal history and more. And Jez as well. And big up to Doug Out Football Channel. I got a few yesterday. Doug, you must be gutted, my guy. Honestly, so close. Didn't get there as well. Right, let's talk about Tony. I'll start with you, man. And Eddie Howe. Yeah. Is he under pressure? Because what it is, right? I mean, there's lots of social media reports saying that he should be sacked. He needs to be ruthless, and he needs to change things up. I mean, what does Eddie need to do? Because I'll tell you now, if Bruno wants to leave, Isak wants to leave, from me, then Eddie needs to look over his shoulder, man. Because I tell you now, right, I love him, but he needs to change it up and be ruthless.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, look, he is under pressure. He's got to be under pressure, surely. We beat Wolves, but then we go and get beat off Chelsea. You know, not a great display against Chelsea, let's be honest. Even Cher for the third goal, he was stood there like a statue whilst Mudryk just breezed past him. The FA Cup at the weekend, you know, fans going there like yourself in the pouring down rain, absolutely atrocious conditions, spending money to go and watch that, and it was like, and I don't want to label it that, but it was like watching the brand of football that we used to watch under Steve Bruce. You know, we had two shots all game, two shots, one on target, one off target. Isak should have scored with his on target, and then it makes it 2-1. That makes an interesting game, but he doesn't. Bruno's body language and statement after the game says it all, that he doesn't look happy at the club, and who can blame him? You know, if it wasn't for Martin Dubravka, we would have lost that game about 4-5-0 easily. So, you know, for Dubravka to do them, you know, to save us as well, kept the score down. But it was like a training session for City, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing because they were walking around with the ball. And, you know, we will leave them huge gaps between midfield and defence again. Dan Burn is a left wing back. What's Eddie Howe thinking? I'm sorry, if you want to get sacked, then go and do things like that. That's going to end up getting you sacked. You know, the results aren't there. I mean, yeah, we beat Wolves, but look, come on, let's be honest. We beat Wolves, who had no Joe Gomez, you know. Neto went off at half time there. They had no Huang either. So they were weakened. And now we've got West Ham, who are now 4 points ahead. Yes, we've got a game in hand, which is the Palace game away, which is going to be important now. but he needs to start getting games won. And I'll tell you what, the West Ham game is a 6-pointer at St James's Park on the 30th. That is a massive game. And if we don't win that, we could be in 12th place, because Fulham are away to Sheffield United and they'll beat Sheffield United. And Chelsea have got Burnley. So we will be 12th place because he'll be above us, which is frightening to think. And even Bournemouth are creeping up on us now. I mean, look, I wanted nothing more than Eddie Howe to succeed, bring trophies to Newcastle United. But the more I'm seeing Eddie Howe now, and I'm not seeing Eddie Howe at the moment, I'm just saying the way I'm looking at things in Eddie Howe, it's not going well. And I've spoken to Bournemouth fans, and they've said he's got a certain ceiling. They reckon he's reached that ceiling. We've conceded 48 goals this season. We could end up conceding over 60 by the time the season ends, because there's 10 games to go. And I think we'll concede at least another 12 goals, if I'm honest, the way we are shipping goals.
At least.
We've had injuries this season. Yes, we know that, but we can't use that as an excuse. We've actually had less injuries than Real Madrid this season, believe it or not. They've had 32 injuries this season. We've had 29. So, yeah. And I know we're not the level of Real Madrid. So before anybody says anything, we're not at that level of Real Madrid. We know they've got lots of players who can come in and cover positions. But they don't make excuses about injuries. And some of our fans are making excuses saying, oh yeah, but we've had injuries. Don't make them as an excuse at the end of the day. It's a results business, football. And if you don't get the results, you're going to be shown that door. Now, we know Amanda and Jamie Rubin have threw their support behind Eddie Howe. But I have heard from somebody that in Saudi Arabia, PIF are not happy with Eddie Howe. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they decide to make that change. If they do make that change, look, there's nothing any of us can do about it. We just have to accept it and we move on, you know. But has Eddie took us as far as we can? That is the question. You know, European, we should have game management against AC Milan. At least get a draw. Don't lose the game. And we're in the Europa League. But what do? Go out and try and go gung-ho to win the game, and then we get beat 2-1. Chelsea, quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. Almiron has the ball at the corner flag. All he's got to do is keep it there. He doesn't. He loses it, and they get upfield, and then there's a mistake from Trippier, and it's a goal for them, and then they win on penalties. You know, Eddie, I don't see the plan B from Eddie, and that's what's worrying. The substitutions he makes, you know, he makes them at the wrong times.
Yeah.
You've just got to look at the women's team yesterday. They were 2-0 down at half-time. Becky Langley makes 3 changes at half-time, and they go and win the game 3-2. That's how you win a game with your substitutes. And that's Eddie needs to start doing his substitutes a lot earlier. And Lewis Hall coming on the other day was the bright spark for me, because I thought him and Almiron did well down the left. But the problem is, they should have started the game, not Dan Burn, I'm afraid. But if he wants to keep picking his favourites, then that's going to end up costing him his job, like it did at Bournemouth when he picked his favourites.
Cool. I totally agree there. I mean, I'm blank in the middle. I'll be back in the middle. I've frozen, but we'll be back, guys. And Pete, Tony, that's a very fair assessment, mate, because Eddie Howe, very, very fair assessment, my guy, because I tell you what, I mean, Pete, I was just going to pick up what Tony said as well. PIF and Saudi Arabia are not happy with Eddie Howe. He's got a ceiling. Bournemouth fans say he's got a ceiling. The PIF said they're not very happy with him. What's your take on it, man?
Well, yeah, if they've got a right to be, considering they are 80% owner of this football club as well. So a lot of the decisions, in a way, is going to go, they're going to want, it's going to be a lot of the decision down to them as well. Eddie does need questioning at the moment, because it's just the same mistakes we're seeing over again from him. And he's not sorting it out, and this will cost him come the end of the season. I mean, I'm still really annoyed with the Chelsea game, because the fact is, what I am still annoyed with that game is because Chelsea are not a good team. They are a team of individual players. They can be good on the day, but a lot of that team is full of individuals, and we gifted that win. We gifted the goals to them. Again, Tony's just mentioned, the way we've gone out in tournaments, the Carabao Cup. We should have looked to have tried at least to got to Wembley again, but we threw that. Champions League, the Champions League in a way was always a big ask, in a way. But I would say we gave it a go in that game. I didn't see we went out with a whimper in the Champions League. But the FA Cup, yes, it's Manchester City, but at least go and have a go. And we went out with a whimper at the FA Cup in that game. There was no effort. The only thing that did well was the substitutes when they came on. The rest of the starting 11 did absolutely nothing. And people say, it's a quarterfinal, but again, we're only one step away from Wembley in a way. I know it was going to probably be away in a big ask, but it's when we're not seeing any effort from these players, and Eddie's not changing it up when he needs to. I mean, he could at least had at least maybe a couple of substitutes on in that Man City game, and you never know what could have happened in a way slightly. But in a way, 5 at the back, you're just asking in a way to lose a game of football. In a way, it's Eddie needs the questions asked for. I know I have been a big fan of him, but why is he constantly making this mistakes over and over again? And it's the same old's happening.
Every time, Pete. Every time. It's facts. Absolute facts. I'll go for the comments as well. I'll go on my say in it as well. Even to you, Early Doors TV, I hope you're good. Do check out his channel. Big West Ham fan. Got a few yesterday as well. VAR's a joke. Lads, would you trust Eddie with the big money signings in the summer? And with FFP, why don't we just go for it big time? What's the worst that will happen? 4 points deduction like fars. My opinion, Alan, is right. It's all good and well spending all that money, right? However, if we spend 250 mil, 300 mil, and we got done by the FFP, they're going to come down just like a ton of bricks, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely, John. They will do. But, I mean, look, if Bruno's not happy and if we don't get Europe, I think Bruno could be off in the summer, if I'm honest. Now, if he goes in the summer, if you put together, because obviously with FFP, I think either teams to buy 3 or buy 4, 1 to 2. But if you put that together with, obviously, say he goes for just over 100 million, then you put that together with things like the seller sponsorship, the Adidas coming in and everything, we could have maybe up to 500 million to spend in the summer. Would I trust Eddie with that money? I'm not sure, because look, there was reports apparently that we looked at Alan Varela, a player that are highly rated, by the way, a young Argentinian. He can play DM or centre midfield. Great passer of the ball. Instead, apparently Eddie Howe said he didn't want him. He goes to Porto for £6.9 million. Yes, 6.9 million.
Ooh. And
has got 2 goals and 3 assists from centre midfield. And his passing rate per game is 90%.
Unbelievable.
But then Eddie would rather go for Philip Billing. I don't understand that one.
And he's off to Lloyd Kelly as well. I tell you what, if he turns our team into Bournemouth, right? If he turns this to Bournemouth, he got to get us top 4 next season if he's there. If he doesn't, he's in big trouble. Like I said, I don't want him sacked, but at the end of the day, we're Newcastle United. We're bigger than Bournemouth with the greatest respect. Do you know what I mean? And I tell you what, right? I mean, we want bigger name players. Not Philip Billing. What's he, 28, 29? Lloyd Kelly, 16 injuries this season? Because our fan base on social media thinks Lloyd Kelly is great, yeah? On a free as well. Get him on a free, he's on free, yeah? Come on. Give us Lewis Hall. He's a better player. He's a better player, man. Give him a chance. We've got to touch on him later on. Bump to the gas of the day. He's doing well. Hilarious and outrageous as always. That's in Toonami. Big up to you, Toonami. Tony, I agree, but Eddie Howe needs to show the door to a few players. Otherwise, he will be his own demise. You've got to agree with what Lorraine said there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's talk today that Leeds United wants Sean Longstaff in the summer for 15 million. Do you know what? Send the 15 million and you can have him.
Fat. Absolute fat. Drops, you're back to the old regime again, my guy. You're late, but welcome, by the way. Hope you're good. Welcome everyone in the chat as well. Big up to Nike Nisham. Big up to you, Mike. Hope you're well. Hi to Paul. Hope you're well. Hi to Julie J. I hope you're well as well, and I hope you're having a good evening at this moment in time. And got to Lorraine. Eddie Howe said, anyone who does perform will not get a game, but they do. Pete, for me, it's about time on week Saturday, Lewis Hall, Elliot Anderson comes into that team, and also Lewis Miley. Start them. Drop Dan Burn. Drop Sean Longstaff. Drop Miggy. Yeah? They got to start now, surely.
Give them a chance. Yeah, Lewis Hall, I've been begging for that lad to be given the chances, and look what he did when he came off against Manchester City. We've seen something from him. Give these chance, because he's persisting with favourite players who are just simply not performing. I mean, if Dan Burn starts against West Ham, I will be worried what Gerard Bourne will do to him. Longstaff is just all over the place. If he's playing with an injury, why is he playing? This injection's crap. I've had enough of it now. If that player needs surgery, he should go out and get it. I think we've got some cover in the midfield now, because we're getting some of those players back as well. Like, we did get Anderson back. We have got Willock back.
Yeah.
Change it up. You never know what could happen. Because if West Ham take the lead, if Eddie Howe persists with the favourites, it's going to be right hard to get back, because West Ham are really got... Yes, I would say they haven't been as good this season, but they've got quality players. As I mentioned, Bowen, that Kudus has been fantastic for them. Paquetá, really good on his game. They will overrun us if Eddie continues to play out-of-form players.
Pete, kudos against Dan Burn. There's only one winner there. Jared Bowen against Dan Burn. Only one winner there. I want Dan Burn playing the centre-back. If he does play centre-back, he can go as well. I'm sorry, but the trouble is, though, do not pick players on the birth certificates. We play the players on the performance, not by the age, but not the birth certificate, by the name. If you didn't perform...
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea taking Botman out the team. He does not look comfortable with that knee. He does not look comfortable with that knee.
Definitely, Pete. You're right. Let's go through the comments as well. There's quite a few. And thanks. Smash the likes as well. And also, if you like the super chat, if you'd like to be a member, it's only 99p. And I honestly think Big and Biggie on the second half is a mistake. His work rate is unbelievable. But the problem is, though, Kel, Biggie is not going to win me a title. He's not going to get us top 4 football again. You know what I mean? I want proper players who's going to make a difference. I want my wingers like Kudos, Tony Kudos, right, for West Ham.
Yeah.
That guy, 36 million quid, right? We pay Harvey Barnes 38 million quid. I'm not dissing Harvey out, but Kudos, that guy is he just so sure passion. You would have thought that this guy's played for 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at that goal he scored against Freiburg, you know. What a goal that was. And then he went and sat down on the stool, didn't he? I mean, you know, he's got pace to burn. He done it against us down at the London Stadium. It caused us problems as well. And, you know, the thing with Eddie Howe, you'd think when he's playing Dan Burn on the left, you'd think he's learnt his lesson by now, because, you know, when Nuno Espirito Santo got the job at Forest, when they played us Boxing Day, the first thing he did was he thought, right, I'm putting Elanga, who's my quickest player, on Dan Burn. And he skinned Dan Burn every time. And then when we played Luton Town at home, Ogbenny was put on Dan Burn. Eddie Howe should be looking at this and thinking, well, hang on a minute. Oh, it just shows you Dan Burn's actually slow because they're putting all their quick players on. But he seems to be blind to that, you know. And I think Dan Burn's lost a bit more pace since he got that injury against Arsenal when he went down on his back, when he got that back injury. And I think he has lost some more pace since that. But he shouldn't just be in the team just because it's Dan Burn and, like, you know, he wants to play week in, week out. You know, he's playing Sean Longstaff, who's got an injury and has to have injections. But then against Chelsea, he plays 96 minutes. But you bring Lewis Miley on, who has about 15 minutes and does more in 15 minutes than Longstaff does in 96 minutes, you know. And that's a 17-year-old. That's, you know, it's crazy. And, you know, and people said to me, because I said on one of my shows, I think it was when I'd done the Chelsea preview, and I said, look, you've got to look at people like Pep Guardiola, who's an elite manager, at what he does. Now, I watched that Manchester derby, and I thought Doku had a real poor game in that match. Rashford put them ahead. They were 1-0 down at half-time. Second half came. Foden scored a firecracker. As soon as Foden scored that goal, Guardiola made the substitution. Off come Doku, on come Alvarez. He took a £60 million player off and put a £17 million player on. They went and won the game. And then people said to me, oh yeah, but that's Man City. We're not Man City. We haven't got them type of player. I said, no. All I'm saying is, it's how you react to a change. That's what you do. He was proactive because he said, right, okay, Doku's had a bad game, but we've got the equaliser. I'm going to throw Alvarez on, who's got pace, and we're going to go win this game. And that's exactly what he done. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference with an elite manager. Eddie keeps saying he's learned from all these managers like Sarri, Simeone, Klopp. Well, where is it then, Eddie? Because we ain't seen it. We haven't seen it. And, you know, like against Liverpool, we should have beat them 10-man Liverpool at St James's Park. As soon as Eddie Howe took Tonali and Gordon off, big smile on Klopp's face because he thought, oh, great, they've took our two best players off. And he threw Núñez on, who went and scored 2 goals against us. You know, that's what you call good management. And that was bad management on our part, you know. Yeah. If we'd kept them 2 on, we'd probably win that game.
Exactly. We're going through the comments. We're going to come back on Pete as well. We're going to go through the problem in Newcastle as well. Bruno wasn't exactly world class on Saturday. He's hit and miss. Lorraine, I can see your point. People say that Bruno's world class, yeah, but when you're playing a big game against Man City, right, against Arsenal, against Chelsea, against Man City, right, against Liverpool, Bruno, we all love Bruno in the room, but Bruno hasn't shown it. When you're a big game player, you got to step up to the plate. The problem is, I said this to you on your show yesterday, he looks over the shoulder, he's got Casemiro. Yeah, yes, I know Casemiro's getting slow, but he's still a world-class midfielder. When he looks to the other side, oh, I've got Shaw Longstaff. There's no quality in our team. And
it's going to affect him, John, if he's got poor players around him, in a way.
I agree.
Because at times he's had to bail those out. He did at Chelsea when Sterling left Shaw Longstaff for dead. Bruno has to come all the way back and put a sliding tackle in.
Yeah, that is the problem. That is the thing. Because our midfield don't look right at all. Also, it's so unbalanced. You know what I mean? I mean, Joe Willock is trying to get back into fitness. I don't expect him to do much, to be fair. Longstaff, he's well documented for me. Keep Bruno, sell Longstaff, and the rest of the deadwood. Bruno's part of the project. Well, Alan, if it carries on, I don't think he'd be no longer being a part of the project. He'd be on his way. He's 27 in November. I think Eddie has to answer questions how to change the game up. Peter's just saying that. When we're losing, I do agree that Eddie has made the team about no one player's biggest value, though. We don't need more dramas. This is the thing, Kel. I tell you what, he has got to get it right next season. He has to get it right. If he starts to sign Bournemouth players for outrageous prices, every Newcastle United fan should call it out and be angry. Mate, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. Look at United yesterday. They absolutely fought to the very last second and got their reward. Exactly, Ring. Exactly. Jobs. I'd say, so like, Pete, we need to have the young ones and rather than injured players. It makes no sense, yeah? If we lose it, so be it. Pete, this club say is having the opportunity up for 6 months. And Alan said, Tony, watching you on the American UFC show, it's a good show, by the way. It's a good banner for me. It's on too late. End up falling asleep on the chair. I have to be up. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Big up to Static, Big Goon as well. And he loves League Gunners. He also mods League Gunners channel as well. And I've just noticed that. Thank you very much indeed. Like and subscribe. Come on. I've got 21 people watching on YouTube, 128 watching it on X as well. And just a shame you need to add that up as well. And Kelky to Lorraine. And got Eastman Blythe. I tell you what, it shouldn't be, you're never going to beat Badburn. You're always going to beat Badburn all the time. Shocking. Burn off Sell. And Sean Casey on Irish Magazine. Eddie wants to play because of football, but has not got the players at the minute to do that. Well, he'll get his opportunity in the summer. He needs to get the players that he needs, and he needs to get it correct. On Saturday, he has to cover 2 other players who are shy. Paul, I agree with you, man. I totally agree. It's unfair on him. Do you know what I mean? It's unfair. You have to have the players to do it. we're badly missing Joe Linton big time. Big up to Jan, by the way. I hope you're good, man. And Paul plays around Bruno, but he wants to play in an 8 role, and Eddie isn't giving him that. Well, I tell you what, if he's not giving him that, then someone's going to have to give. Who would you rather keep Tony, Eddie or Bruno?
Good question, John. But the thing is, we should be building a team around Bruno. That's for sure. We know Isak's capable as a striker. But yeah, we need to build a team. We need to give. I know Joe Linton's a big miss for us. He's a massive miss, Joe Linton. Because my favourite 3 would be Joe Linton, Willock, and Bruno in that midfield, and they work well together. But obviously we haven't got Joe Linton for the rest of the season. But yeah, we need to start. We need to start getting the next level players in the summer. It's no good Eddie talking about saying he might extend the contracts of Paul Dummett and Matt Ritchie. Now, come on, this is not right. If we want to be that next level club, how are we going to get there with players like Dummett and Ritchie? We're not. Like Kraft and Lascelles have obviously extended their contracts now. But I think that's done because in case anybody says in the summer, oh, we want to take Emil Kraft or we want to take Lascelles, well, pay us some money. And it's business because you're selling them rather than giving them away for free. So I think that's why they maybe have signed a new deal. Because even Lascelles needs to be upgraded, in all honesty. We need to upgrade everywhere. But it's going to be an interesting summer. But whether Eddie's here or not, I don't know. That's the thing. Obviously they're off to Dubai this week, aren't they, for warm weather training. So you've got to sort of think that when Amanda and Jamie Rubin go over there, they're probably going to end up meeting with Yasser, and maybe he might say to them they're not happy. He's not happy with Eddie Howe or whatever, and they'll have a meeting, no doubt, and maybe if maybe he's got the West Ham game, and maybe if it doesn't go right, then he's out the door, whatever. Who knows? A manager can be sacked anytime. As I say, I remember, and I found out it was Gerrard because I remember it quite well. When Gerrard got sacked, he had to get off the coach at the services and wait for his mate to pick him up because he got sacked by Villa and they told him to get off the coach at the services. And he had to get off the team coach, and he had to phone his mate up and say, can you come pick me up? I'm at the services.
That is embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Telling the manager you're sacked and then you chuck you off the coach. Wow. Yeah. God dad Brian Clough in the day. I tell you what, it tell her exactly where to go. I'm telling you. Do you know what I mean? All Ferguson.
Do you not remember that, John?
Yeah, I did actually. I did when Gerrard got sacked. He's to take off the coach. That's unbelievable, man.
Isn't it?
That's just embarrassing. But you know what?
Yeah.
I say you be footing the bill because I'll not be paying for it. In the bin, they go. Bruno's not been at its best. Well, Tim Vickery, I had him last year, the South American football experts, yeah. He gave Bruno a 7.5 out of 10. And it's not hard to see why. But the burnout and the headstand at the minute seems to be the case. I love Bruno, but I'm not going to blame him at all for it. I just blame the players around him. Lads, how many players do you think would come in the summer transfer window and what positions, Pete? What do you think?
I think we need a new right winger. We could maybe get another keeper because I think Karius and Gillespie will be away.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, or unless we look to unless we're going to bring in one from the under-23s. We could do with a new centre-back, to be honest. Possibly a left-back, but if we do pay for Hall, I want to see him given that opportunity. We could do it another striker as well, because I think Callum Wilson I'd sell, unfortunately, now. The bloke cannot stay fit. He cannot stay fit at all. When he's on his game, he scores goals. But the injury record's appalling, John.
I agree.
The record, I forgot how many injuries I've counted since. I think it might be from the 2008-9 season. Again, I could be wrong. I've counted injuries into double figures.
That is absolutely.
And the fact is, he's had 2 ACLs at Bournemouth. And he's had a couple of bad ones. Yeah, he's had one That was it? Is it Kelly's or was it his thigh from Boxing Day 2021 up until May of 2022? He's had a torn hamstring that's kept him out for a couple of months, and we've got him out for at least 9 to 12 weeks, unfortunately, now. I mean, Callum Wilson's been great, but the injury record's atrocious, and we need to look as a replacement for him. Because again, who says Isak's not going to pick up injuries again next season if he's here?
No, totally agree. And you know what it is? I've seen people saying that, oh, I love Newcastle. I've got friends here. We've got a family. Kids are happy at school. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that at all whatsoever. I'm not buying that crap at all whatsoever. If you're not good enough, you are out. If Real Madrid came in for you, are you going to say the same thing? Definitely not. No. So get in the bin for that. Sorry. Amanda, in an interview, according to Lorraine, saying that Eddie isn't going anywhere. Well, I love Eddie, but he needs to be ruthless in the summer.
He's got to be. Because the thing about this, Amanda, Mirdad, and Jamie Rubin, between them two, they're only 10% of ownership of the club, whereas PIF are 80%.
Exactly. So the thing is, though, the Saudis wants to be a number one. They do not want to be going from 4th down to 10th, possibly 12th.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because that happens at the end of the season, then I want Eddie to stay, but I think the orders, if you think otherwise, get Stevie G in, great manager. Number one,
thank you.
No, thank you, Joe. I know I love you, my guy. Big Villa fan, number one. And secondly, he's just signed a new contract in at a Saudi club. So he's there till 2028 or something like that. New striker, we do and do jobs. Tim Victory, you mean the TV chef, John? Go and cook the underperforming players, my guy. Carriers to definitely go as he's asked to go. I tell you where he's exactly going to. He'll be going to Italy. And I had better sickness records and lost my job. That's 12 injuries. Wilson needs to be sold. He has to. I think he needs to be ruthless. These injuries wouldn't have stopped if Eddie never brought his Bournemouth Mr. B medical team with him. That's another problem.
Yep, I'd happy say good riddance to the medical staff as well. Because they have been responsible for the injuries we've had.
Yep. Must play Tino, Minte, Howe, Sandro, Miley. These are players you have now. Believe me, you and me. I'll be watching Minte and he's the next best thing. You know what it is? I think you do Harry next season. I mean, going to Feyenoord.
Minte, it looks like he's doing well at Feyenoord.
He's picking up now. I want to see him take Miggy's place. And I hope Newcastle players don't come back injured or sunstroke. It would not surprise us. And Amanda doesn't get to make the big decisions. Eddie Howe Saka will come from the very, very top. And I'll tell you what, I'll be amazed. I'll be absolutely amazed that if he's still there. But I want to be here. But the West says otherwise. Yeah, let's talk about... go on, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that question for the players, where would we upgrade? I mean, definitely right wing's got to be an upgrade, surely. We need a right winger. A right winger who can score and also assist. After last season when Miggy had his great season and, he got double figures, I was expecting to see him better than that this season, and I've seen him go backwards this season, I think another left-back's possibly in the equation as well. Definitely a midfielder. I would see a DM, and I would like to see Coney, because that's the player that I want to see in the club.
Is he from Mönchengladbach?
Yes, yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen him play live, John. He's absolutely terrific. I mean, I was at the Leicester Stadium when England played France under-21s, and he ran the show for France. And when he went off, France went to pieces. He made James Trafford pull off a great save from a 35-yard pile driver. He's a terrific player, really is. And I was so glad when he started because I thought, I want to see this guy play. And I just, kept my eye on it. The way he was pinging balls around, I thought, you know what? Love him in our midfield at Newcastle. Terrific player. I think a goalkeeper, like Pete says, obviously Karius will go back to Italy because his girlfriend's pregnant, and you can't blame the guy.
You can't blame, because I would like to have seen Karius given chances, but he's not getting them.
No.
And I do feel
against Arsenal. Pete, against Arsenal, he was all right because he rushed out the box and kicked the ball away. He seemed to command his area better than what Dubravka does, if I'm honest.
I agree.
But I think Dubravka may go in the summer, because if he's going to be told he's a number 2, he'll not hang around. He's having a great season now, and I wonder if he's putting himself in the shop window. Now, he'll obviously be Slovakia's number 1, because Rodak is nowhere near Dubravka standard, let's be honest, who plays for Fulham. He's their second choice, by the way, Fulham. So, he's got no competition really with Rodak. So if Dubravka has a good Euros, might be a queue of clubs coming in for him. He's 35 now, so if he does want to go, I would say, do you know what? Let him go and play first-team football somewhere else. But there is big links that were after Mamardashvili from Valencia, the keeper.
Great
the Georgian keeper. He's a great keeper.
As well. Great with his feet as well, man. And
very quick out of his box as well. So, he's highly rated as well. So, if I'll be all for that. But that might then push Pope down to number 2. But then I don't think Nick Pope will be bothered, to be fair. But I hope if Pope's back by the end of April, he'll be in that Euro squad for England, because he should be.
I agree. Benrick's window, eh? And I like that, Kel. And Jules said as well, go and get Jordan Henderson. No, and no. Big up to Michael C. Big up to Michael Big Hammer. And hope you well, my guy. And hope you have a good day. He's been on my show before, and he's very, very knowledgeable as well. So big up to Michael, by the way. We should see the week on Saturday. And go as well. Yeah, I mean, we definitely need a CDM. Definitely need a CDM. No question about it, because the figures, right, outdoors, you look at the midfield, your central midfielders, there's no specialised CDM. We're bad missing Joe Linton, by the way, Pete. The sooner we get him back, the better. But Eddie doesn't buy CDMs. And I think he needs to now, because we need to change it up, number 1. Number 2, right? I mean, he keeps saying 4-3-3. And we're getting found out a little bit, because they know how we're going to play.
Yep. Well, yeah, or who says Sandro Tonali can't play that position when he comes back from his ban?
Yeah, he can, but it'll probably be extended as well. Apparently, he could be banned.
Well, we'll see. We don't know. There's nothing officially said about that just yet. So, but yeah, I mean, Bruno, I want to see a more forward role. I don't think number 6 really suits him. He's done well over it at times, but I think we'll want to see him that more forward player. But Joe Linton, we're missing his strength, and that's what kept that left-hand side strong, particularly from last season. Well, we haven't got that in the minute. We're getting totally exposed badly down there.
Every single time. And then he's just cannot fix it as well. Do you know what I mean? He needs to fix it too. I mean, we're only saying it because we can see what's going on. Eddie can't see it at all. And I want to talk about Tony. You probably know this as well about Pep. I mean, when Pep, after the game, we got beat off City, Pep said something, I don't know if it's true or not. He went to Eddie, shook his hand, and I don't know if it's true or not. He said, you don't know you should play like this, Eddie.
That's what people are saying, and I've looked at the video many times, and I'm still trying to see if that's what he's actually saying. But he says something to him, and it does look a bit like he's saying something on them, words. But I mean, if that is what he's saying to him, then that's massive coming from Pep Guardiola to say that. I mean, I even said it. When we were 2-0 down, we should have just gone for it and had a go. And, if we'd got beat 4 or 5-0, then you could have said, well, at least we had a go. But the fact we didn't have a go and we just sort of limped out the FA Cup was just poor, in my opinion. I mean, going back to like CDM, John, do you know what I wouldn't mind seeing, right? Because he does play CDM for his country as well. Now, against West Ham, if Trippier could be back, also Livramento could be back as well. So if he does want to play Lewis Hall, he could play Livramento left back. Now, this might not be a bad back four. So you could have, say you've got Trippier at right back, you've got Lascelles, Byrne, the centre halves, Livramento on the left, push Shaw into a CDM role. Shaw plays that for Switzerland, and he's played a defensive midfielder before. And the way Shaw's got his passing range as well, he would just ping balls on the midfield. Now, Would you two give him a shot in CDM role? Because I would.
Oh. It's not a
Does it
bad
for
idea.
Switzerland?
Well, I mean, for me, I've always said no, don't play Shard and CDM. But if Eddie's change it up and play Shard in that position, I'm open for it. At least he's changing it up. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, though, if he does do it, and I don't think he will do it, because he's quite happy playing his favourites in happy roles, like, do you know what I mean? Like Danburn left back. For me, personally, I mean, you got to change it up now. Do you know what I mean? That means putting Shah in the CDM. You see how he does there. I'm sure he'd do well. We could do it for Switzerland. You could do it for Newcastle, man. And then maybe play Dan Burn and centre back. Sven Botman, rest him up till the new season, maybe, because at the minute he's just not match fit. I'll go with Pete there. He doesn't look right. He does not look right at all. But bottom line is, Eddie's the manager. We can't tell him what to do. But one thing I'm going to say, right, I want to see a brand new team in the summer. A brand new team in the summer. I don't want to see the likes of Burn. He can go, yeah? I mean, look, end of the day, he can go. Like I said, Richie, goodbye. Target, goodbye. I'm sorry, but he can go as well, yeah? I mean, Sean Longstaff, he can go on Spike. Miggy, goodbye. Murphy, to a degree. If he finds a new club, I have no problems with that at all. And, then you can say goodbye to Paul Dummett as well. I do not want to see Eddie Howe offer these players new deals, because if he does that, then I'm sure the fans will not be happy about it. But hey-ho.
I mean, the thing is, John, I mean, obviously you were in the stadium on Saturday, so you wouldn't have saw it. But I mean, obviously watching on TV, we saw the pictures. When the players were coming out the tunnel, Sean Longstaff was limping like mad.
And now, he didn't win.
And he still played him until he subbed him, I think, on the 61st minute or whatever it was, when he made them 4 changes. But I was actually cheering at the TV when he took Longstaff off. I was like, yes, thank God for that, Eddie. You've actually done it for a change, you know. But if he knows he's injured, why is he continue to play him? And somebody said to me, well, you can't play Anderson because he's not match fit. I says, well, keep Longstaff out, give Anderson an hour, bring Miley on for half an hour. What's the heart of that? But, but yeah, that's what I would have done, you know. But he obviously started Longstaff in that game, and it's like we're playing with 10 men because we're carrying Longstaff. Bruno must have a bad back by now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if he was rested, but they can't rest him because they're the best player we've got. But I would see passion from the team as well, not just Bruno. I would see passion from every one of those players, because I tell you what, I was at a match on Saturday, second half, I was waiting for someone who's going to take the game to scuff of his neck. And I didn't see not one took the game but scuff off his neck. And that is the thing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, people, all the fans were singing, 8 fans were singing, right? And you know what? Some people just didn't care. I mean, it was great. They didn't care what's happening on the pitch. It was just singing all the way through. Do you know what I mean? But things need to change, man. Things need to change. I want a trophy.
John, you were at the match. Apparently, some players didn't want to come over and clap, and Eddie had to wave them over. Is that right?
Yeah, I saw that. And I tell you what, that ain't great. I mean, I tell you what, who didn't want to come over and clap, right? I tell you what, if they didn't want to clap over, Tony, let them walk down the tunnel and bloody find them, because we'll find out who it is. They'll bloody find them. Because I tell you what, any other manager wouldn't give a monkeys. Like Arteta, he's one of them. He probably wouldn't give a monkeys, yeah?
Yeah.
People, I mean, Ange Postecoglou, he'll make damn sure the players clap to them. He'll make damn sure. Because I tell you what, that manager is absolutely, I don't care, because Celtic's a second team. He is absolutely brilliant. I don't care what anyone say. I mean, Spurs fans say he was 5th choice. And I said to Spurs fans, look, Spurs fans, give the lad time. He will be fantastic. So let's go for the comments as well, man. Keep those comments coming in. The hard thing for the Geordies, FFP, have all this money and restrictions that Chelsea, City never had. I would love to see them happen to West Ham, but the powers that to take the big 6. Yes, I tell you what, it is absolutely shocking what's going on. Terrible. Off subject, did anyone see Turkey Teeth and a melt yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
Absolute class. We must sell Sean, Wilson, Byrne, Tribune, Dummy, Miggy, Richie, and Dubs. Murphy, get some money. But like I said, not blood money, get some money. But I know what you mean, Jan. Well, I hate to say the Manx did agree and got the rewards. I get that the PIF owes more shares, but they must talk to a man than Jimmy. Big up the cow, by the way, big gooner. This guy speaks facts. I'm going to try and make him a mod as well. I'm going to talk to him as well. He speaks facts, and he's a big gooner. He's Arteta out all day long. And it's not right. It's not right, isn't it? Kale, Villa, Geordies are knocking on that door the hard way, and they're doing everything to keep us all right. Do you know what? I would take the Premier League 20 to the court case.
Absolutely. Absolutely, John. I mean, there is a court case going on at the moment, isn't it? Because there's a Belgian club taking UEFA to court over FFP. Now, the last time UEFA were taken to court by Belgium, and that was by Bosman, who got the Bosman ruling in when he wanted freedom of contract. So, if the Belgian club win that case, then FFP could be a thing of the past.
Oh, it needs either scrapped or just because I don't think the new rules are any different.
No, they look worse. They are saying though, what they are saying is, if there was no FFP, us and City would be streets ahead of everybody else in the Premier League.
Do you know why? Because they're frightened of us now. That is the problem.
Yeah. The Premier League do not want Newcastle to compete. They don't want Newcastle to compete. They're upset the big six. But let me tell you something, Tony, you said this a while ago. One day, we're a big elephant in that room, and we're going to rattle them. That's exactly what he did in getting the top four in the Champions League. Yeah. We don't do it this season. But, you touched on about the Bosman, right? Taking the UEFA to court about FFP. Yeah. I hope that guy wins. I hope that guy wins. Because I'll tell you something now, if he wins that, it opens the whole can of worms into football, I'm telling you. The whole thing. And that will happen in the Premier League as well. I hope someone from the Premier League or player take on the Premier League. And I tell you what, this is not working. This FFP, may as well stay there, but it's PSR thing getting in the bin. Because you're stopping clubs by trading. We're not going to be in debt. Man City's not going to be in debt. I'm sure Arsenal's not going to be in debt. But you know what? If you haven't got the money, don't buy. We're never going to be in debt. That is the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with what Darren Bent said a while back on TalkSport. And, you know, what he said was, what they should do is, instead of having this PSR FFP thing, he says, what you should have, he says, you should have a bond scheme. So what it is every owner of every club, whether it's EFL or Premier League, you take a percentage of what they've got in money-wise. So he says, say, for instance, Newcastle, say the Premier League said, right, okay, you're the owners of the club, we want £1 billion deposit off you. And they keep that deposit. So if for any reason the club went bust or whatever, there's that £1 billion to put straight back in the club to pay players' wages till they get a new buyer. He says, that's what they should do. He says, that way, that works better. Because if any clubs do overspend and go out of business, then you've got that money there to put straight back in the club. And I thought, you know what, that's actually quite a sensible idea. And actually quite agreed with that. But that would never happen. There's no chance of that. I mean, as soon as the Sports Direct board started getting taken down, Leicester City was the first club to come out and say, hang on, let's get the clubs together. We need a vote because Newcastle's got to go and get huge sponsorship deals come. We need to cap this. And yet Leicester's sponsored by their own company, the King Power, you know, and their owners. And, you know, it just stinks. It absolutely stinks. And the thing is, we're having to make sure everything we do is fair market value. Now, there's talk that the training ground and the training kits will have sponsorship as well. Yeah. And even the pre-match kit as well. So it's about time we did. I mean, you look at Luton Town. They've got their main sponsors. But if you look at that pre-match kit, they've got TUI on there. They've, you know, they're clued up about getting an extra sponsorship. So that's what we should be doing as well. And do what Man City do. Get about 100 of these £1 million sponsors, which you don't have to have Premier League approval for. And if you've got about, say, 60 to 100 million of them, 100 of them, sorry, there's 100 million a season coming in on sponsorships that are just under the radar because they don't have to be approved by the Premier League, you know. So it could be any company, you know. Say, like we've got Monster Energy, it could be them putting £1 million in a season, but you could have quite a few of them coming in. So, you know, it's all there, and I'm sure Peter Silverstone's looking into all this as well.
Yeah. Absolutely, Tony. Absolutely. I can't really add to that as well, mate. I really can't add to that as well. You took sense there. Lads, if you had the chance to take Diego Simeone as manager over Eddie, would you take him? For me, yes. For me, the problem is he don't want to speak English. That's why he's not going to come to Premier League. He's not. And this is why. So for me, I think he'd be a life at Atletico Madrid. So I would love to have a Newcastle. And I tell
it's
you
a manager, right? I'm going to ask you. I'll ask you, Pete, this question because I'll give you my reasons why. Right now, would you take Jose Mourinho as a manager?
You asking Pete?
I'll ask you too, and I'll give you my reasons.
Well, I'll let you see. You did ask me this before, didn't you? Or someone did.
Yeah. I'll give you my reasons why I would take him, right? Okay? This is my pitch why I would take Jose Mourinho. And I know a lot of people are negative, saying, he plays negative football and all this, right? But hear me out.
By the way.
So, Jose Mourinho is a serial winner. Yes, he didn't win anything with Spurs, but Spurs is one of those teams where they don't really win a lot, do they? And it's a hard thing, you know, to do with Tottenham Hotspur. But everywhere he's been, even at Roma, he won the Conference League with them. He's a winner. He's a serial winner. He's won trophies everywhere he's basically been, Jose Mourinho. Now, he loves Newcastle because of Bobby Robson, because he was obviously Bobby Robson's assistant at Barcelona. And he learned a lot from Bobby. And if he got the opportunity to manage Newcastle, he would snap our hands off for that opportunity. Now, I know people say he plays boring football, but you don't know that because he could come to Newcastle United and play a totally different brand of football, knowing that we like exciting football. So he could actually play an attacking football that people are thinking, wow, where's this come from? But Mourinho is a very clever manager. And the thing is, if he was to bring players in, he would bring them in. And I'm telling you now, if Mourinho was in the club, the likes of Dan Burn, the likes of Jacob Murphy, the likes of Jamal Lascelles, Matt Targett, Emil Kraft, no disrespect to him either, they'd all be gone out the door. Matt Ritchie, gone. Dummett would be gone, you know. And he would bring in the next level players. And he would build a team probably around Bruno. But I think Mourinho wouldn't be a bad shout. If say, for instance, Eddie lost his job this week and brought Mourinho on for the last 10 games, we would finish in Europe under Mourinho, I'm telling you now.
Well, tell you what, though, it would be my choice, but if he did come on, I'll back this guy. I really would back this guy. But my choice will be, right, and I thought this hard and long, if Eddie does get the sack, and I hope he does, if he does, then we'll build to Mancini. Look what he's done at Man City.
Yeah.
Comes in straight away. I spoke to a guy on Saturday after the match. I wish I filmed it. I wish I had an interview with him, right? He said to us to say, if you want to take it to the next level, then you have to drop Eddie Howe. Sorry for saying it. I know it's going to upset us, but he need to go to that next stage. And Julie, I know you well, Julie on social media, back up to Julie. Stick of Eddie. The CEO should never come out in January saying we had to sell. That's Dan Ashworth. I mean, Julie, I'm going to have to get you on the show one day if you fancy coming on, but that's another problem because Dan Ashworth has come on and he said he wanted to get the players Eddie didn't want, but he went. And I was pretty sure that Dan and Eddie didn't get along. That's why Dan buggered off to United.
No. Mm-hmm. He hasn't gone yet, though, John, has he?
He hasn't gone yet.
Because apparently Man United won't pay the money, apparently.
And we're not budging.
No, we're not budging. It's either pay him money or he's not coming.
He sits and has a pretty garden.
He could be a full-time gardener. You know what I mean? He could be a full-time gardener. Dan Ashworth, good career move, man. I tell you what, he's making millions being a gardener. I'll give him that.
Go and do Yasser's garden next.
Yeah, facts. Facts. That's the point. Look at Deadwood. Big up to the Yeti, by the way. Big up to Yeti. He's a big Forest fan. Do check out his channel, by the way. I feel sorry for this guy because Forest got done by 4 points by his FFP. And we only signed 450 players. Do you know what I mean? Which is I don't get that at all whatsoever. It's a joke. Job speaking to be fighting as well. Everyone says hi to Mama. Mama Flossie's my new mod as well. Hopefully, Cole. Hopefully, Yeti as well. The Premier League corrupt just turned to new league, the Super League, for the so-called top 6 corrupt. Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. It's all happening. There'll be changes this summer. Mark my words. Jan thinks Eddie could be first to go. That's what Jan reckons. I could be wrong. Think is affecting Miggy's and the dressing room. That's from Julie. Wow. I mean, what's your take on that one, Tony? Miggy Almiron. And G says be changes.
Yeah, he hasn't done it this year for me, but I've always said Miggy is better on the left than he is on the right. And I've been proved this point. And this point's been proven this season because when he played against Man United at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup on the left, he had a great game that night. And when he has come on and played left this season, when he played left the other day, he didn't do too bad. Him and Lewis Hall linked up quite well on the left.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying to people, and I show people the stats on screen. If you look at his stats in the MLS, he played on the left. When he plays for Paraguay, he plays on the left and comes in midfield. When he first joined Newcastle under Rafa Benitez, he played on the left for Benitez. He never played on the right, he played on the left. That's where Benitez had him playing, because that was his natural position. Under Cabachid, he played here, there and everywhere because obviously he's got no tactics apart from looking at what time the kebab shop opens or how's the bacon in the morning for him at Greg's. Yeah, that's all he was interested in. Eddie Howe wants him to be the inverted winger. So, no wonder he's confused as hell, Mickey. But I think he looks better on the left than he does on the right. He looks out of sorts on the right because the thing is, teams have got him worked out. So as soon as he's got the ball on his right foot, they know he's going to shift it to the left foot. So by the time he does that, there's 2 players on him and he's marked out the game.
Yeah, easy. The rules changed recently. You cannot do that. What if Leicester, all these came back up and God forbid, Scotland, they're not going to get back up. Not a chance. They're more just get relegated and get in the top and in the playoffs as well. Should they have been restricted because of new investment? Well, if they do get promoted to Premier League and they're over 16 mil, they could be done as well.
They're up for sale Sunday, aren't they?
I believe they are. But it could be American, all that sort of thing. But I tell you what, whoever comes in, right, they got a big job at that club. And Lewis chatting to Alan, look at yesterday's semi-final draw. We're not told which club had which ball number, and someone just called out the club as a righty, pulled the ball out. And where does the transfer window open? I believe it's 1st of July. We need lawyers on £1 million an hour to help us hide those figures in future. That's yes, our time kind of agree, man. You should appeal against those fines. You should appeal against them, mate. You know what I mean? And he probably would it. Mancini or Mourinho for me, that's from Julie J. And can't wait for Marco to sponsor us for 250 mil. They're all shot themselves. They have 2.4 trillion. Can you imagine that? Pete? Having a Marco on our shirts, the Premier League will be running it.
Oh, I know. Crazy. Oh, that would be cracking, wouldn't it?
Unbelievable. And host is with that, but when he doesn't look at every club he's been at, players revolt and he leaves. I tell you, that's the
thing. Yeah, that's the thing. That's and we're talking about John is a big Arsenal fan. We're talking about getting Etiquette in the summer. Eketana, not Etiquette, Eketana. I wouldn't have him. No way. No way. Not a chance. I'm sorry, we like Eddie, but Anitta ain't good enough. And things got to change. Our owners only take so much. Sparks will fly. Alan speaking sense there, but just wait until the start now and get the players in. That's for Julie J. Jan, Amina, take no BS, no good for you. No capitals, please, Jan. I do apologize. I will say that. And the bench, well, you get rid of the jewelry element of players. That's sad times. The thing is, though, Kel, you said there, get rid of the jewelry elements, right?
Dan Burn, not good enough. Sean Longstaff, not good enough, yeah? Lewis Miley's going to be a star. Elliot Anderson, he's going to be a star as well. Do you know what I mean? But you know what? Just give the players that aren't good enough. Like I said earlier, don't go for the players on the birth certificates, yeah? Or the age. Go for the talent. What about Diego Simeone? I'd love that to happen to Alan. That's not going to happen anytime, unfortunately. No way, Jose. That's all right. He does not want Jose anywhere near the club. Homegrown players from the team brings the passion. Yeah, that's Lewis Miley, Anderson. I've seen that one. Apparently, these are interesting. Alongside 50 mil, I'll drive in there, beer. I'll drive in there. And hopefully go. And I drive Longstaff to Leeds tomorrow. Please go, go, go. You got to love Darling, haven't you? Eddie's got no balls. That's from Jan. And it's lovely. Keep the good Geordies. Get Bobby Clark back. He's never gonna. This is the thing, right, Pete? Bobby Clark, the one that got away. Another 6 more months, he'd be our player.
Yeah, he could well be. Just could well be.
Yeah. I even take Bobby Mank for 2 or 3, yeah. And so I was going to say as well, I mean, I just look at a report, guys. I mean, not a report, like it's not a big football transfer street. I know they're not reliable, but Alexander Isak is concerned about the current situation in Newcastle United. Tony, what's your take on that, man?
Well, doesn't surprise me. I mean, you know, we had it. Look, I know we were in the group of death in the Champions League, but we missed big chances against Dortmund. You know, if at Dortmund, Joe Linton puts a header in the back of the net, it's 1-1, it's a different game. But after he misses that, Julian Brandt goes up the other end, doesn't he? I mean, look, you can see why he's concerned because, you know, he's probably thinking, well, you know, we finished in the Champions League. Where we're going to finish this season? We're 10th place at the moment. Are we going to get anywhere near the top 6 or the top 7? You know, and I can understand where Isak's coming from if he is concerned. And that is the concerning thing. And that's probably what PIF may be looking at. You know, I've seen people on Twitter saying about PIF saying, oh, the Saudis are no longer interested in Newcastle and they don't care no more. They're not bothered what's happening. And I thought, well, actually, no, you're actually wrong because if you go back and watch the Amazon Prime video, Yasser Al-Rumayyan actually says, he says, yes, I'm chairman. He says, but I can't be there all the time. He says, that's why I've got all these people in place so they can do the decision making. He says, not just rubber stamp at the other end. He says, so there's no, you know, so it's not to say he's not interested because if that man wasn't interested, why would he sit there with a jacket on and show his Newcastle United under it, you know, under his jacket and say, my aim's to be number 1. That's where he wants to be number 1. And Saudis don't accept second best. And that's why Eddie, and if you look at Eddie on the touchline as well, he looks a man under pressure at the moment. So maybe he knows something's going on above him. Who knows? But something's definitely going on in there. And he looked, against Chelsea, he looked absolutely lost on that touchline, Eddie Howe.
He did.
Absolutely lost. And he did on Saturday against Man City as well. But yeah, we can't afford to lose Isak as well in the summer. But I'll tell you one thing though, John. If we did lose Bruno, there is one midfielder I would definitely go and jump in for. Florian Wirtz. What a hell of a midfielder he is.
Oh, man. This guy's a ragamuffin. A ragamuffin. Oh, he's a passer. He's a baller, him. He's a baller. But I think Xabi Alonso goes to Liverpool. I think Wirtz will go with him. So that'd be a cracking signing. You know what I mean? We've got the money to do it. But he's rated 100 mil anyway. And would he leave Leverkusen to come to Newcastle without Champions League football? Probably not. No. But he's a class act. Wow. Not 100% sold on Isak, to be fair. That's from Kel. And big up to Coffee as well, the one who loves Rafido that much. You have a shirt on his back as well. Pete, big up. What's your take on Isak, Pete? Do you think Tony is right? And also, do you think we should be worried about it now?
Could be, because you know these players will want they'll want Europe next season. Isak, I think, will as well. He's done it for Sociedad, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he'll probably want Europe as well. sometimes a question: are we giving them the service as well?
That's the problem. We haven't got the players to do it. Anthony Gordon, we haven't even touched on him yet, but he could. Miguel Miron can it. Jacob Murphy, I like him. He can cross the ball, but I just don't think he's getting enough service as well. Do you know what I mean? But Isak is the one. It's got to be kept on in the summer because this guy is a fantastic striker when he's fit. Fantastic. I think he's one of the best strikers we've had for a long time. I can't lie. But if we lose Bruno and Isak, you have to question our ambition. You have to question our ambition because I'm sorry, but you can't lose two key players and not get a replacement for them at all. Do you know what I mean? And not only that, they want to play European football. And if you can't offer European football, can Eddie Howe attract the top managers, top players again? He did with Bruno. He did with Isak. We'll see it. We'll see. Big up to Amy, by the way. I hope you're fine. And Amy, you know what? I've got a question to ask you. What do you think of the chat? Do you, I think Amy's lovely. She's so a bit of a social media influencer. She is brilliant. Got a dash. You take care, Kel, and have a fantastic evening, mate. Yeah. So what else can we do? I mean, we've got no football on Saturday. I mean, do you think, Pete, we've got to change it up on week Saturday? I know it's a long way to go.
We've got to, because West Ham is not going to be an easy game. I want to see Longstaff taking out that team, and I think Dan Burn should be taking out that team. And I think Botman at the moment should be, because he doesn't look comfortable with that knee at the moment.
I agree. And Tony?
Yeah, I mean, West Ham's a must-win game, really, for us. If we want to be in that European place, a draw doesn't really help. We need to win that game, especially having the game in hand as well. You need to capitalise on these games. It's not going to be easy. West Ham's a tough team, and I've seen quite a few Newcastle fans saying, "Oh, it's all right, we'll beat West Ham." And I'm like, "Oh, that's not a given." West Ham are a good side. They're playing well at the moment.
We could
beat
Luton.
Exactly.
Luton put 4 goals past we're at home.
Yeah, which is shocking, isn't it?
We should look to beat Bournemouth as well.
Yeah,
and we couldn't even put them away.
And at times not lose it to Forest at home as well. I mean, they opened
Chris Wood hat-trick.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. Totally
Look at the goal he scored on Saturday against Luton. I mean, he's turned into a different player since he's left us, you know. But yeah, I mean, look, it really is a must-win game, you know. But you know, this Saturday it's England-Brazil, isn't it? So that's going to be a good game if Anthony Gordon's playing and Bruno's playing. Just hope Gordon doesn't take Bruno out, because that would just be our luck, wouldn't it? You know, Gordon goes in with a tackle and puts Bruno out for the season. That would just rub salt into the wounds. But let's hope that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
But hopefully I'll see us win a trophy on Saturday, because I'm off to Kenilworth Road to see the women play in the National League Cup final. So
yes,
they play #United, and it's in the main stand where the seats are in Newcastle end. Well, I had to put extra ones on for the Newcastle fans, and that's already nearly sold out apparently. So
wow, big up. I bought a ticket for the last game against Man U. Right, we got beat 5-0. Right. I mean, Adam Pearson, right? Bless him. I love the guy, right? And he advertised it for the tickets, right? How do you get a ticket? I bought a ticket. People say I bought it for the loyalty point. No, I didn't. I bought it to go to the match. Yeah. I had 2 people asked us questions and said, have I been to any ladies' game this season? Yeah. I said, what's that got to do with you? I bought a ticket. Only police officer. If you are, show us your badges. Answer the question. Until then, it's all your business. Yeah. Then someone has to defend us and say, does it really matter if you bought a ticket or not? So someone answered it for them. Spoke for me.
Yeah.
They spoke for me because I don't need to answer that question. In the bin they go. Good for you, Tony. Hope you have a bloody good time, mate.
Yeah. They're close to promotion now, aren't we? So that's a good thing. Look how much we've improved since the new owners are coming. You know, considering the former owner didn't want nothing to do with the women's team, and look at them now, you know. If we get the championship, which we should do, we're nailed on now for promotion, get the championship, win that, then we're in the Super League. So we're not that far away from it now.
Facts. And I hope we do all the way, Tony. I hope we go all the way. He's not going to leave for less than the team that's not in the Champions League. Paolini has a great shot. I think he's a good player. He is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. We love you lots too. And new striker Isak on the right side, Mint on the left. But he's going to come in as
Isak on the right, not as a right player.
Nah.
Minty's more of a right.
He's going down the right. I want to see him start in the summer. I want to see him start. There's another one for Beer Fiker. Back to you, Beer. After today's win, Alfie Harrison needs to be in the first team. Apparently, he looks fantastic. Jared Bourne and Kudas, who's danger first. Paqueta back as well. I tell you what, if we don't defend properly, they can really hurt us. Ladies are killing it as well. Amy, fat, absolute fat. And one thing good before we go wrap up the show, that is FFP again. Luke Edwards come out and said that. Do you think Newcastle just spend the money and take the points?
The fact is, we'd like to spend the money, but the fact is, if we were to breach FFP, John, the media would absolutely rinse us, because you know what? A lot of the media companies do not like us, and they'll want to see us kicked out the Premier League. So that's my only concern, because none of these media companies, mostly down in the south, they do not like us, and they would love to see us out the Premier League if we were to breach FFP rules.
Take them to court. I'll take them to court. You know what I mean? Before we even get charged for it, take them to court. The moment the charges, take them to court. We'll absolutely rinse them. In fact, we have the Premier League. Well, the Saudis have them for breakfast, main course, and a dessert, all in one. All in one. Tony, do you agree with that, my guy?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, if we did go and break FFP, everybody would be wanting us relegated, put into League Two. You know, that's what they would be doing. They'd be shouting that. So I don't think our owners would do that anyway. Go through the FFP. But you know, because we haven't spent in January, it does beg the question: are they just keeping that money for the summer? You know. But then there was other questions in January. Is it because they're going to change the manager in the summer as well? And that's why they didn't want to spend any money in January. So, you know, it's all ifs and buts. And, I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to see us break FFP because I'd like to see us stay within the constraints so people can't slate us for it. Because the media, like Pete said, would have a bloody field day, wouldn't they? So, yeah. But we've beat Sunderland today 3-2 apparently.
Yes.
And Sunderland had some first teamers in that squad as well.
They did. They did.
Bradley Dack.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Evans, Ekwa, the one who gave the goal away against us.
Oh,
wow.
Him.
Yeah. The one who dilly-dallied on his box.
Yes.
Yeah.
That ain't good. If we breach FFP, the punishment for us will be massive.
Oh, yeah, they would love to give us with a hefty punishment.
We'll take them to court, man. We took them to court.
Yeah.
And then you say, why didn't Everton first got relegated? Why are you going for us? I tell you what, it'll be fireworks, I'm telling you. That should be.
And apparently.
That'd be worth it at a Crown Court, Tone. That'd be worth it at a Crown Court. Go on, mate.
Yeah, apparently, there's a rumour going around. Everton are now due to be docked another 6 points, which will throw them in the relegation zone on 19 points.
Ooh. I tell
because
you what.
they've broken it twice now.
Wow.
And the Premier League are looking at that takeover of 777 partners now. I tell you what, if that takeover goes through, I think Everton want to start saying RIP Everton, because I tell you what, their owners will screw that club over. They will ruin that club. That club will go to the wall.
Fact. And they have done it to a few clubs as well. Look at clubs like, is it Standard Liège is one of them? I might be wrong. Standard Liège is one of them. They're all about 5 or 6 clubs in a minute, like, do you know what I mean? But they're not good. They're not good people. Think about it. Screw them, spend it. That's what Avy says. Avy saying, go for it, spend it. Just smash it, just go for it. We're not guaranteed a 4-point deduction. The punishment depends on the intent and size of the breach. Forest never meant to breach it. That's because of Brennan Johnson. They tried to sell him later to get more money. And
It
that's
was all them players they bought when they got promoted. That's what they're being charged for.
They have to do it though, Pete. They have to spend it because they didn't have the players, man.
If they do, that's a good point, yeah.
So, managers guarantee successful. Chelsea, prime example, having too much to spend, be sensible. That's from John. Big up to Annie, by the way. Are you guys how out? For me, I'm not how out. But I'd like to ask you the question, Annie. Do you think Eddie should keep his job? I'll ask you that question, mate. I hope you're well, by the way. It said, hi, Coffee, we'll change the deal for manager. It would be too much change in a short span. Fair enough. Not Howell's fault everyone got injured. Amy, you know what? I kind of agree. It's always a shit show when clubs buy too many players and at once Newcastle needs fall in. That's from John, a big gooner. We got the money to fight in court. You know what, Amy? If we take their Premier League to court, we will win it. We will win it. We can't take the Prem to court until all of avenues has been exhausted. We fought for the FFP. The Premier League is owned by the 20 clubs. It's UEFA as well at the Prem. What's your take on that one, Tony, from Beer?
Yeah, Beer's absolutely spot on. He's right. Yeah, I mean, UEFA govern the rules, and the Premier League's got their own rules as well. But as I've always said, the FFP should be in line with inflation. Even if it's like £200 million loss over 3 years, at least that gives you a little bit extra to play with.
Yeah.
But with these new rules, it doesn't look like it's going to give you much more wriggle room than you've got now.
I agree, but it's going to be interesting, when it kicks in, but all those players bought in when they were promoted. Forest should have been more careful. And does FFP look at Man U, Liverpool, Arsenal, so-called top six, or are they scared too? No, they haven't breached the rules. They haven't breached the 105 mil yet.
Oh, Man United could be in trouble, John, as well.
How come?
HMRC. And I'll tell you why. HMRC are in talks with Man United over a potential unpaid tax. This could impact future spending budgets, with FFP tightening as well.
That ain't good. Not
look
good
how
at
much
all.
debt Man U's in as well.
Yeah.
1.2 billion or something like that. They could be in trouble by FFP as well. They could be, but they won't be.
No.
And that's a Jim Radcliffe. I cannot stand the idiot.
Oh. Saying that. Do you hear what he said about having a Wembley up the north and that?
Yeah, and I have the taxpayers to pay for it. Excuse me? No chance.
No chance.
Oh, yeah, trying to get government money to build a new stadium.
And he thinks we're being silly by asking that much money for Ashworth.
Exactly. Don't pay like 85 mil on Anthony then. Don't pay ridiculous fees like Hoyland. Great player. This guy's going to be fantastic here. But at the end of the day, they spent too much money. And yeah, you finished in the top four last year. Injuries has been ridiculous as well from the looks of things. Deserves a chance to write off this season. And that's when Eddie basically said Eddie needs another season there. Or they're scared to. That's from Judy. Yeah, I know what you mean. We need to get more money from creatively a pre-season tour in the Saudi for 50 mil. Can you imagine that? Next season we have Miley, Alfie, Minte, Tino, Santo, Isaac, Bruno, Gordon, Anderson, Barnes, Willock, Joe in the team as base players. That's in Jan. I take his point. That's a good comment there. No wonder they're begging us to reduce the national compensation fee. Absolutely no chance. Don't like Ratcliffe, too arrogant. I'll bite him on the ass one.
I can't stand him. Oh, he's one of
those.
Man, you have the right to win everything and challenge for everything. No, you don't.
Not at all. Not at all. And I'll be brave now. We'll win the title before Man U do. And I'll be brave in that. New stadium would be nice. I want to touch on that, guys, quickly, right? I mean, I'm just going to read Coffee's comments as well. That's Ahmad Redco was funny. Took his shirt off, got a second yellow, gave his shirt to a young fan, and went down to like a champion. Big up to Ahmad, by the way. Fair play to you. Fair play to you.
He was on loan at Sunderland last season, wasn't he? So,
he did all right.
The thing is, though, what you got to think of is, I know we all laugh about it, getting his second yellow for taking his shirt off. He's a young lad. He was caught up in the moment. He'd just scored the winner against Liverpool. And you can't blame the lad, But But then we're seeing ridiculous decisions from referees again. I mean, I know the yellow card has to come out if you take your shirt off. That's fair enough. But if I think it was the Chelsea Leicester game. If you watched the Chelsea Leicester game yesterday afternoon, a Leicester player kicked the ball away and got a yellow card for it.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Sorry, it was Villa. Sorry, Villa West Ham game. Sorry, I beg your pardon. West Ham player kicked the ball away and got a yellow card. Zaniolo kicked the ball away for Villa. Nothing. No yellow card, no nothing. The referee just played on.
No consistency.
I thought, well, hang on a minute. Is that because Zaniolo's the grass and he's getting away with everything now, is he?
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Chelsea, that Sterling free kick.
Oh, God.
Wow.
He's finished Sterling, isn't he?
I would be surprised if it landed in the Thames. Oh,
wow.
Oh.
And his penalty missed as well. The keeper saved it.
Oh.
Unbelievable. I tell you what, Adam Peace is going to be unhappy about this. You know, when Newcastle's gone off to Dubai, right, and go warm weather training camp, right? To me, if I'm honest with you, do they deserve to go to Dubai?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. Don't deserve it. Sorry, don't deserve it. Yeah, warm down. I'm sorry, don't deserve it, man. But go for the comments. What we'll talk about. How is Arnold still playing? Yeah. And then Jan said, I'm not going to sponsor us for 200 million. Let the Premier League try and stop us and fight them all the way. Yep. Saudis will absolutely pee them down big time.
Yeah, it pulled ahead of Dubravka as well. I think Pope's a talker, whereas I don't think Dubravka does that for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a brilliant, man. Just a quick one before we wrap up the show, guys. Says here for Michael, maybe the duo just change in the episode for the players. It's going to be private as well. It's going to be a private. It's going to be low key. So if Adam P or my guy decides to look for the players in Dubai, can't see it. And take a leaf rugby refs. They're the boss. Nothing second guess and consistent across the board. That's from John. I totally agree. I like the way the refs does in union and league as well. New stadium. Do you think you should get a new stadium, Tony?
Well, we want to expand, but expanding St James's is a bit of a conundrum because you got those listed buildings behind the East Stand. The only way you can do it is by moving it into Leazes Park. But them drones that they were showing you where they moved the stadium a little bit, you couldn't really move it there because you got the Victorian bandstand there, and you'd have to move that somewhere. But you could if you could move it into Leazes Park a bit, and then you could maybe say move Leazes Park to the other side of the Gallowgate, and then you could do it that way. I know they've got the woman on board who's good with planning, isn't she, from Newcastle Council? So, and she was involved in the original lot when John Hall got granted the town moor at the time, and Castle Leazes, and then all of a sudden the Greenbelt people came out and said, no, you can't put a new stadium there, and then the plans were shelved because John Hall said he didn't want it to drag on and go through the media and go through the news and everything. He just said it's not worth the hassle. But we're moving for the times now.
You have to.
And obviously, the site down by the arena's sold. We know that. Mm-hmm. Sold to Homes England. But yeah, look. Either way, if you've got to move the stadium, then you maybe have to move it into maybe Leazes Park. I'm sure they're having a look at every avenue they can. You can't move it out the city centre because, look, you're going to affect all these businesses on a Saturday afternoon who rely on the football, because even when away fans come, they might bring their wives with them. So their wives might go off shopping while they're in the football at the ground watching the game. So, these shops, small businesses are making money as the football's on. But if we took that out of the city, it would be like a ghost town probably on a Saturday. And, the shops would probably end up closing because they wouldn't be making any money. So we've got to keep in the city centre. If they wanted to knock St James's down and rebuild it, I've always said, where that arena site is, if you could use that site or whatever, then build one of those temporary stadiums, what they had at Qatar in the World Cup, where they had the temporary ones. Build one of them up, because they don't take long to knock up. Knock one of them up and use that for however long it takes for St James's Park to be rebuilt. So there's options there to do things like that, but it's because I wouldn't want a ground share with Sunderland, that's for sure.
It'd be
Not that mucky stadium anyway.
Nah.
Unless we ground share with Gateshead, but then we'd have to upgrade their stadium massively. So yeah, I think if we were to upgrade, or if we could find a spot of land where we could use that, we could put the temporary stadium until St James's Park was rebuilt. Unless if you do build a whole new stadium in Castle Leazes, then obviously you can continue using St James's Park until that's built.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I mean, you need to move it further up a little bit, or you have to redevelop Newcastle United. But for me, I'm up for a new stadium, but not too
You've
far.
got to move there at some point, then it is what it is.
Exactly.
Because John Hall's vision was back then in the 90s, because he had the sporting club, because he had the hockey, he had the ice hockey, he had the basketball, the Eagles, the Newcastle Rugby Club, the Falcons. I mean, what he wanted to do was, if he got this stadium built on Castle Leazes, then he was going to give Newcastle Falcons St James's Park. But because he had to shelve the plans for Castle Leazes because of the protests, Falcons stayed at Kingston Park. But that's where the Falcons were going to go, was into St James's Park. And they would have a super stadium.
Yeah. Well, thing is, though, right? I mean, I think we need a new stadium at some stage. You know what I mean? If we can't do it at St James's, you need to have a new stadium just for up to Leazes Park. That's what we need. So yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Great show as always, lads. Thank you, Pete. I really appreciate that, mate. I hope you're good. I heard we play Tottenham just after the season ends in Australia. I would love to go there as well. I'd love to go to Australia, but I'm starting a new job, same job, but I'm on probation, so I can't really go to Australia. I would love to go there and build where it's now. Yeah. Now, yeah, I know what you mean, Name. I know exactly what you mean. Bye, time like coffee. And we're going to wrap up the show there, guys. It's been a brilliant show tonight. And Paul said, great show, lads. Thank you so much, Paul. And our latest member as well. And it's been great show tonight. Hour and a half as well. Amazing show tonight. And if you've got any questions in the comments, guys, leave in the comment section. I'll have a look at it as well. And Tony, I'll start with you. Did you enjoy coming back on my show, mate?
I did, John. It's been a long time being away, and we have to do more of this together, and you'll have to come on my channel as well, mate. But it's been an absolute pleasure to come back on, mate.
Fantastic.
We've missed you.
Thank you very much. I miss you guys as well, and I know it's been a long while, and I'm back, which is good. So, and where can we find you on your channel, on your YouTube, Tony? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so people can find me. It's behind me there. It's All Black and White TV. Go on there, check it out. I've got videos. I was a show yesterday, and I'll have shows coming up this week as well. So do check out for that. Go and check it out, All Black and White TV, and have a good look about and see what you think. And if you like it, give it a like and a subscribe. Thank
you very much indeed for that. Do the links in the titles as well. Just go on to 231 on social media and go for this. So nice to see Tony back on John's show again. Thank you, Coffer. I really appreciate that. And you, Amy, love you lots. You always got to say love Amy. She is amazing. And thank you, John. Thank you as well, Alan. I really appreciate that. Don't be long back. Definitely. Thank you, Amy. I've got to get Amy on my show soon as well. And also as well, great show. Singy, Pete, Tony, always good to see you. As Jobs, thank you so much, man. And Judy as well. Pete, where can we find you on your socials, man? Did you enjoy coming on?
Absolutely. It's been great tonight. Great to be back as well. So yeah, that's my channel. It's PD Proudlock. I'm not sure. I'm thinking of planning a couple of shows there later on. during the week with it being in the international break. So yeah, feel free to check mine out as well. So
Cool.
Again, right down there.
Yeah. Do check out PD Parallax's channel and also follow him on social media. The link's in the title as well. Tony's All Black and White TV. The links, Tony Tooney 31. The links are in the title as well. 3 more days for the food picks.
Oh, yeah.
Take care. Take care.
Coffee always loves Friday show.
Wow. Tony and Pete looking forward to coming on your show. That's an Alan. Alan is a big fan of my channel. Big up Alan. Because I missed it. And you know what? I always said Ronald, big up to Ronald, by the way. I've always thought it's always on Newcastle Fans TV, but how wrong was I? The week will fly by coffee. Yes, that'd be funny.
It certainly will.
Oh man.
Talking about food picks, Pete. What I'll do, mate, is I'll send you a couple of food picks from when I was in Albania, and with prices, and then you can put them on your show as well.
Okay, then I suppose so.
Cool. Bring it in. And the weeks will fly by like coffee. Thank you much indeed. If you like and I'll be back tomorrow, but I'll be on Harry's channel, Harry Scarce's channel for the Premier League show. He asked if I can go on his channel tomorrow. I'll host his channel, and I'm happy to do that for him. And he's pleased for. He's only 16, I think. Harry Scarfe. He's a great guy. You had him on your show.
He's a good lad, isn't he?
He's so
15,
talented.
John.
15, and he's a big Spurs fan.
Because I had him on. I got him on my channel last year. And he was 14, and everybody was like quite surprised how old he was, and everybody was guessing his age. And then when he said, "No, I'm only 14," and they were like, "What? Wow!" And I said that he was the youngest I've ever had on my channel. So there you go.
The youngest I had on my channel was Annie. He was 13, and when I did a watch along, and after I had Holly Blades had her say on the channel, and she's the first channel I've been on, and then he came on, talked to. We got beat off Brighton by 3 goals, and no, it should have been 6 or 7 that night. It should have been 6 or 7. We were horrendous, man. And that was on where we had COVID as well, didn't we? We just played social distancing football. Brighton had us apart. Should have been 7 or 8 that year. And see, Greg's have got a new pasty haggis. That's an Alan. All the Gregs as well. I leave that to Pete, I think. He's the expert on the food picture.
Oh yes.
So I'm not gonna jeopardize this channel. That's not my place at all whatsoever. So guys, I have you guys backstage. I'll see you back tomorrow on Harry Scarce's channel. He's a big Spurs fan for the Premier League show, and we're going to talk about the race for the title, fight for the Europe, and also relegations as well. And if you like the video, like what you watch, guys, and make sure you like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, it's John Sinclair TV, and please smash those likes up as well. So like, subscribe as always, guys. Howie the lads.